So I forgot all my cameras at home, so you're gonna have to excuse the fact that I'm using a cell phone today for all of this. Anyway, today's plan is we're gonna get in there with some steel wool and some acetone, and we're gonna give the tanks a final scrub, get it all nice and clean hopefully, and then we'll do our first coating of the fuel-proof, fuel-resistant epoxy. It takes 22 hours to cure. 8 hours between coats, so I don't have 8 hours to hang around and wait, or maybe I do. We'll see how the day goes. The plan is we're going to hopefully get in a nice thick layer. Also, I don't want to do too many coats in case it doesn't bond, so I'm going to rather do one coat, check it out, see, make sure that it's bonded properly, it doesn't come loose, and then we'll do a second, maybe a third coat, and then close up the tank. So anyway, let's get all my gear out and let's get cracking. I'm Nick Holmes. I'm a fueling automation engineer, a voluntary rescue technician, and a passionate aviator. Join me as I take you through learning to fly and onto the adventures of backcountry aviation in South Africa. Okay, so I've got my face mask on, my headlamp, we've got some acetone, whoa, me and cameras are bad, Scotch Brite pad, and some steel wool, box of gloves, some old work shirts as some cloths, and we are going to get into there now and try and wash this out finally, get it prepped for the two-part epoxy. Okay, so we've had to come up with a plan. We've put tail wheel on my movable cupboard so that we can have the wings in a negative attitude pointing down so that I can get everything to the front where we've cut it open as we flush it now. All the stuff to wash to the front, and we can remove any excess rubbish. So yep, let's get cracking. So this resin has absolutely destroyed let me turn this light off, destroyed this acetone has absolutely destroyed this softening resin a little bit more aggressively than I anticipated, which now has me a little bit concerned that it's actually going to damage the integrity of the rest of the tank. So trying to make a rapid fix here is to get this shit out, to drain it really quickly, get it out of this tank, and then we'll just wipe the residue off with a cloth. Okay, so this acetone is quite aggressive. I didn't think it would be that aggressive. Don't get it on your fabric, it freaking bubbles your fabric, shit. Don't get it on your paint either, it seems to leave streaks. Watch what you do with your hands. It destroys nitrile gloves, so when you go and cut your hand on the fiberglass, it burns like a mofo. Anyway, I've drained it out the tank, so let's get in there and wipe the residue out quickly. Alright, so we are going to prep this all up nicely now and try and get the panel to glue back in. I think I'm going to have to sand this edge off here and just try and prep this up as nicely as possible. But other than that, it's looking pretty sweet. I think that's decently sealed. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice and sealed. Feels pretty good in here. Everything feels really well sealed. Yeah. This corner looks pretty decent. I'm going to have to just clean that up. But I think it looks great. Right. Let's have a look and see how this is going to go. I'm going to have to sand it up, but that is going to, see, that's not going to sit there until we sand this ridge out, and then we're going to have to glue it in like that. Okay. to sit down. That I think I'm just going to hit with a grinder and brush it flat. Right, we're ready to do this. Okay, so we're going to glue this together with some of that stuff. We've tested this and trialed this out with some of our fueling products at work, and we submerged it in fuel for I think one's still in there, a couple of months now, and yeah, doesn't break down. So I'm going to use this to do the initial bond, and then I'm going to seal it up afterwards with the chemical resistant epoxy. Okay, so we've epoxied these covers in. I haven't managed to put the fuel resistant liquid epoxy in yet, but I've done the two-part mix. We've just taped them up. They're kind of a little bit flexy still, so I don't know if they've actually cured properly. That side seems to be cured because I can't bend it. I'm worried about that side. But I'm going to, once this is cured next week, I'll peel all this off and I'll inject the liquid in the seam and let it flow in nicely everywhere, and hopefully that will do the job. Same applies to that side. This side's looking a bit better. This side actually seems to have cured already much better. So hopefully that works and we don't have to strip it out anymore. But yeah, and then we're on to putting the rudder pedals back in, pulling the motor, and hopefully that won't be too long. Totes my goats. Those guys are new. Posed a relative hazard to landing if a flock of goats are running around. Flock, herd, school, whatever that dude said. So I'm sporting my new Raw Lines Bush Pilot cap, or Bush Plane cap. I'm not quite sure what they call it. But I'm going to link in the description below where you can get yourselves one of these. Go and help them out. Order yourself a really cool cap. I don't make anything from them. They've got nothing to do with me. Just some mates who run a really awesome line drawing business. Shirts, line drawn shirts, line drawn caps, that sort of thing. So hit the link below. Get yourselves a Raw Lines cap. Give us a thumbs up for this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and like always, we'll catch you on the next one.